What's going on, YouTube? This is your friendly neighborhood DraftKings addict, bringing my top picks for Sunday's main NBA DFS slate. All right, guys, so let's get the homework out the way. If you could, please drop a like on the video. It really helps out the channel. And if you're new to DraftKings addict, drop a subscribe for me there, please. Hit that subscribe button so that way you don't miss any of the content. And as always, guys, I love your comments and commentary, so please drop a comment below on which plays you love and which plays that you hate. All right, so NBA season is in full blast. We got All-Star weekend around the corner, and NFL is coming to an end. So we may have a lot of new subscribers coming over from the NFL. So thank you guys for checking me out. So let's go ahead and break down today's slate. All right, so on top of the list is Draft Dashboard. That's my research tool of choice. There's a 30-day trial for $1 in the description of this video. All right, so this is my preferred tool of choice when it comes to research because it has all information in an easy to understand one-page summary. So, all right, and always adding value. We'll talk about that later. So let's go ahead and drop in here and break it down. So a 6-game slate. All right, so point guard, my favorite point guard on the slate, guys, to be honest, is going to be Rajon Rondo. With all the injuries that we have in LA on the guard spot, they're a little slim when it comes to guard. And the dude came back from his hand injury, played 37 minutes, and put up 50 DraftKings points. All right, almost had a triple-double there. So Rajon Rondo's back in full effect, and look at this. He gets a favorable matchup versus Phoenix. All right, so at 6K, too cheap in my opinion. He's close to a lock, if anything else, when it comes to Rajon Rondo at 6.2K. All right, another guard I like, guys, is going to be Kyle Lowry. Again, I know he disappointed with 31 DraftKings points last game, but he has a nice matchup versus Dallas, and at 7.4K, he could be a sneak play because a lot of people are not going to play him because, let's just be honest, he's been trash on and off for the season. So, but I got that gut feeling about Kyle Lowry today, so I got him in my player pool. Trey Burke, if you want to take a chance there, he played last game, 33 minutes, put up 39 DraftKings points. Now he gets a tougher matchup versus this Miami defense. All right, but if the guy gets the minutes, he puts up points. As you can see in the past versus Miami, he scored 28, 28, and 37. So if this guy plays any considerable amount of minutes, he should be good to go. The question is, does New York coach be an ass and not play the guy, kind of like how he's done us with when it comes to what's that big guy's name? I'm having a brain fart. God dog it. You guys know. All right, so long story short, do you trust New York? Who knows? So let's keep it moving. Next up, a little further down, again, Jared Bayless. Again, if we have Rose and Teague sitting again today, Jared Bayless again continues to be a decent value at 4.4K. Now his price has risen a little bit, but should be a good play. Again, if we still have those two guys out, which is going to be again Teague and D Rose. All right, so they're a little tight on guards when it comes to Minnesota. So you see, we got D Rose, Teague, Jones is still out. D Rose is a game time decision. So we'll see how that all plays out, guys. So at shooting guard, we're going to have some of the same plays. Again, if you look at shooting guard, a lot of guys are point guard eligible as well. Come on now. What's going on? So, of course, Donovan Mitchell, man, this guy's been on fire lately. 54, 62, and 53 in the last 3 games. He gets another favorable matchup where these two teams just played, Utah and Minnesota. Now they're back in Minnesota as opposed to Utah. Same game, same players pretty much. And so I'm expecting the same outcome. So 8.8K, he's a little higher up in price. I'm personally going to be paying down at my guards. I'm playing up at other spots, but Donovan Mitchell is definitely in play. Same thing with Mr. Booker. His price has risen to 8.3K. All right, but he gets a nice matchup versus LA. In a high over and under game, high pace game. Should be great for fantasy value. And they're a little short on guards there in Phoenix as well. So Booker should get plenty of run. I like Brandon Ingram. Man, I like a lot of players from this game, guys. It's LA versus Phoenix game. No defense will be played. Should be a high scoring game on both sides of the ball. And so I'm going to have a lot of pieces of that game. So 6.2K for Mr. Brandon Ingram. Kuzma, I believe I just saw he is going to play. So Kuzma should be fine. They say he's expected to play. All righty. So keep an eye out for that news because anything can happen right here. Oh, that's Clarkson. But yeah, I just saw it right before I got online that Kuzma is expected to play today, guys. So just be aware of that. And he's really cheap too. So I'll be playing him as long as I get confirmation he's starting. All right, we got Andrew Wiggins again. Didn't disappoint the last time he played Utah. I suggested that we play him, and he put up 43 DraftKings points. So now he's back at home in the matchup, same matchup again, and in the same spot at 4.9K. Again, if you look at his history versus Utah, he has played really well versus Utah. And again, if Rose and Teague are both out, a lot of the responsibilities as far as ball handling and scoring are going to fall on Cat and Mr. Wiggins. So let's get it. All right, next up, a little further down, again, we already talked about Trey Burke, Jared Bayless, we already talked about, guys. So again, there's a lot of plays on this slate. All right, we have a nice 6-game slate, so a lot of options, but those are my favorite plays at the moment. So at small forward, Aaron Gordon is my favorite small forward on the slate. He gets Houston. And speaking of that, guys, I actually have the ability to go to the game today, so I will be at the Houston game versus Orlando tonight. So that should be fun. I haven't went to a Rockets game in a very long time, but I will be at the game today. So I should be active on Twitter, but if I'm not, just know that's why, because I'm at the game with my son. So we're gonna have a good time today, guys. But Aaron Gordon, 6.6K, just came off a 48-point performance. Last time they played Houston, he put up 43. And again, favorable matchup at 6.6K versus Houston. Again, should be a high-scoring game. Let's see what the over-under is for that game. 222, and Houston is a 9-point favorite. All right, but I like Aaron Gordon in this spot. All right, we already talked about Brandon Ingram and Wiggins. So Josh Jackson, again, the guy should get a lot of run. In Phoenix, they have a lot of injuries. Again, Ayton is a game-time decision. If that guy plays, I'm locking him in. Another favorable matchup today. So the question is, does he play or does he sit? But if he plays, I'm locking in Ayton at only 6.4K, I think is what his price is right now, versus the Lakers. So, Warren is out, so that's why I like Mr. Josh Jackson. Again, 5.5K, I don't expect him to put up 45, 50 DraftKings points. But if he can get you 30, 35, he could pay off a good value at 5.5K for a cheap guy that's going to get lots of minutes with the injuries that they have there in Phoenix. So I definitely have Josh Jackson in my player pool at small forward. So next up, power forward. Got some nice plays here, guys. Again, Aaron Gordon is power forward eligible as well. So is Josh Jackson. But Kenneth Faried, man, this guy's been playing out of his mind. 34 and 44 in the last 2 games, and he's had success versus Orlando in the past. And this guy should be able to get all the minutes he can handle because Houston is a little short on bigs with Capella and some other guys being out right now. So in this game, again, high over and under the game should be a nice pace matchup with lots of rebounds and opportunities for blocks. And that pick and roll with Harden is working like magic, man. So at 5.9K, this guy's too cheap to pass up. So I will have a lot of Kenneth Faried at 5.9K at my power forward spot. All righty, and so those are my favorite plays at power forward. Again, just because I don't mention guys like LaMarcus Aldridge, if he suits up, he was questionable last time I saw, and some other guys like Rudy Gay, doesn't mean that I'm not going to play them, but I'm sharing with you my favorite plays at the moment. And my favorite at center is Karl-Anthony Towns by far at 10.5K versus Utah. This guy's been playing out of his mind as well. 61, 66, 58, and 61 in his last 4 games played. And he's going back home playing against Utah, who he just smashed for 61 points. And he scored 64 versus them in the past before. So, at home, especially if Rose, well, I like this guy no matter what. But if D Rose is out and Teague, again, a lot of the scoring and opportunities are going to move over to these guys, and Karl-Anthony Towns is going to be the biggest benefactor. So at 10.5K, I don't have no problem paying up for him. Vucevic versus Houston could be a good play or good pivot off of Karl-Anthony Towns. Vucevic has some upside, guys. And at 9.9K, he gets Houston with Kenneth Faried down low. But at 9.9K, person right now, he's not my favorite play. I just love Karl-Anthony Towns. And then just up under that price at 7K, if you need a discount, you got DeAndre Jordan going up against Toronto, who has been trash versus bigs. They haven't been able to hold down bigs. And so, but we know DeAndre Jordan, he's up and down, man. He could be 26 today or 51 today. But he's in a nice matchup. So DeAndre Jordan, I have to talk about him. Whiteside, if he gets the minutes, should smash versus New York. Question is, does he get the minutes? Does he get 20 minutes or does he get 32 minutes? All right, I believe they're at home in Miami, right? No, they're on the road in New York. So, but Whiteside could be a sneak play, guys, at 6.9K. So, keep him on your radar. So, going down a little further, like I said, DeAndre Ayton, if he suits up versus Los Angeles, he's a lock for me. I know he's been out for 4 games, but at 6.6K, we just need a nice double-double, and he pays off that salary. So, DeAndre Ayton is on my radar again. Does he suit up? Not quite sure, but keep an eye on that news. All right, we got Rudy Gobert again in a smash spot versus Minnesota. Again, 8.5K. He's another option. But again, Karl-Anthony Towns is my favorite by far. So those are all my favorite picks at the moment, guys. Follow me on Twitter at DK_addict. All right, for any updates. And again, those are all my favorite players. So after you select your watch players in Draft Dashboard, guys, you go over to your lineup optimizer. And you can allow Draft Dashboard to optimize your lineup. And if you like it, you can hit save lineup. If you want to change it, hit randomize and let it spit out another lineup. Also, we have a mass lineup generator where you can build multiple lineups between 10 and 100. Again, you have a couple of different options here. So you hit generate lineup and then it will generate that number of lineups. Also, you have the NBA cheat sheet, guys. So if you're in a rush, you don't have time to do a lot of research, you can go on over to this NBA cheat sheet. And now they've added in the real-time player ownership projections. And so you have that as your option too, as far as maybe finding your GPP picks. So a guy that may be low owned that's going to go off, or the chalk, aka cash plays. So check it out. Draft Dashboard, 30-day trial for $1. The link is in the description of the video. So let's go ahead and get to my top plays. So Rajon Rondo at point guard is going to be a lock for me versus Phoenix, one of the best spots for point guards. And this dude's coming off a 50-point game at 6.2K is too cheap. Andrew Wiggins, again, with some of the injuries that are expected in Minnesota, should be a plus play for around 40 DraftKings points. And as you can see, he's averaging 38 versus this team. So lock and load some Wiggins for me. Aaron Gordon, again, gets a nice matchup versus Houston. All right, that has struggled versus the small forward / power forward. So, again, they're short on bigs with Faried and some other guys like Tucker playing in those spots. But Aaron Gordon should be in a nice spot versus Houston and should get plenty of run because this should be a nice, close, high-scoring game with Aaron Gordon. Kenneth Faried, again, should get minutes, equal opportunity with James Harden on the floor for any big is a positive, especially anybody that can run the pick and roll. And as you can see in the last game, these guys played the pick and roll to the T, and this guy put up 21 and 14 for 44 DraftKings points. So at 5.9K, too easy of a pick. And then Karl-Anthony Towns comes home versus a team that he has owned with 62 points on average versus Utah. So give me some Karl-Anthony Towns at 10.5K at home. So those are my favorite plays, guys. My top 5 plays. So it leaves you just under $5,000 for each player. We should have some value open up. And again, these are my top 5 plays. This does not mean that all 5 of these guys are going to be in every single one of my lineups, but I will have a good amount of them in each one of my lineups. So maybe I pivot from Karl-Anthony Towns and pay up for Harden or somebody else on the slate like Vucevic. Alrighty, but again, those are my favorite plays at the moment, guys. So drop a comment below for me, guys. Let me know who you love and you hate. Don't forget to like the video before you go. That really helps the channel. All right, and if you're new to DK Addicts from the NFL side of the game, thank you guys for stopping by. Don't forget to subscribe, and as always, I'll see you guys on the next slate. Peace.